The recognition for assignment to Southwest Ohio State and our Mr. Phil Beck and Mr. Eric Schreiber. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's meet the starting lineups for tonight's meeting. First, for the visiting Beavercreek Beavers. At left against number 4, Thomas Bush. At right against number 3, Patrick Kerman. At center, number 5, Kerman Constantine Guys. At right wing, number 6, J.J. Blake. At left wing, number 7, Jack Jacob Szabo. And the ball, number 2, Austin Cross. Head coach for the Beavers is Greg Whitterman, his assistant right away. Now the 39 Troy, high school Trojans. At right defense, number 7, Mike McMurray. At left defense, number 11, Colin Burkhart. At left wing, number 14, Ian Francis Scott. At the right wing, number 4, Cooper Sexton. And the center, number 9, Captain Curtis. And the ball for the Trojans, Noah Carter. Number 33, Szabo, his assistant Kristen Powell. Ladies and gentlemen, the Troy High School hockey team would like to show their appreciation for all the teachers who work hard every day to educate and prepare their students for a successful future. The Trojan players would like to welcome to the ice a teacher who has made a positive impact on their education. And so, Trojans captain Mike McMurray would like to welcome Jeff Murphy, who teaches at Upper Valley Career Center. Joey Russell is going to bring Harriet Ellen Butler, who teaches at the Upper Valley Career Center. And the others would like to welcome Szabo Nunez, the teacher at the Regional STEM School. And from Memorial, we'd like to welcome James Gagnon, who teaches biology at the Regional School. Gavin Burris would like to thank Pete Younger, a government teacher from Troy High School. Colin Burkhart is joined by Brian Postman, a math teacher from Troy City School. The cat is joined by Randy Foreman, who is the third grade teacher at Valley Forge School. Jack Crawford would like to thank Mike Miller, a communication teacher at Troy City School. Miles Schubin welcomes Gary Richardson from Beavercreek Elementary. Noah Carter would like to thank Anthony Lombardo for the teacher of horseback school and also North Northwest Youth Hockey coaches. Quinn Gary would like to welcome Christy Moore, a teacher at Concord Elementary. Andrew Conley would like to welcome Brittany Baker, who is an English teacher at Troy City School. Brady Smith would like to thank Kate Sexton, an intervention specialist at Tabor School. Her son, Cooper Sexton, welcomes Irene Bowden, who is an English teacher at Troy City School. And finally, Ian Francisco would like to welcome Elizabeth Myers and Caleb Salzar from Troy Christian School. Let's give all of our professional educators a round of applause to show our appreciation for their hard work and dedication in and out of the classroom. Thank you, teachers, for everything you do and will keep our players in check. If the teachers would like to accompany the players out on the center, that'll be fine. The play the national anthem at home, or you can go back to your seats. Please don't come out here if you don't think you can stand up. I want to remind you, we will have check up tonight. We'll have a 50-50 drawing for organization 21 to buy your concept. Get your 50-50. Okay, well said. Ladies and gentlemen, we live in the greatest country in the world, with freedoms like no other. To honor America, and in respect for all who have served our country to defend the joy, we ask that you keep flags off your hats and stand to the playing of our national anthem, the Star-Spangled Banner. Inside the historic Hobart Arena in downtown Troy, Ohio, Troy, Ohio TV proudly presents Ohio High School Athletic Association varsity hockey as the visiting Beavercreek Beavers take on your Troy Trojans. Hello again, everybody, and welcome live inside Hobart Arena. I am JT Szabo, and tonight is a big night for the Trojans as we watch the pomp and circumstance before the national anthem, honoring 11 teachers throughout the Miami Valley, not just Troy City schools, as part of our Teacher Appreciation Night. I'm certainly glad to have everybody along for the ride tonight, as the Trojans in their home white uniforms with the scarlet and gray piping will skate from right to left to begin this hockey game, but that Beavercreek Beavers Hockey Club coming in all black. They are tops in the conference, leading the Southwest Ohio High School Hockey League, and they are looking for their 13th straight win this season against a very tough Trojans hockey club that took on the Findlay Trojans last night on the road to a 2-2 tie. As we get set to go, your officials assigned by the Southwest Ohio High School Hockey League. Referee Eric Schreiner will drop the puck at center ice. Assistant referee Bill Peck on the near side. And it will be Gavin Burris to take the opening face-off for the Trojans. And we are underway from Hobart Arena in downtown Troy. Glad to have everybody along for the ride on this one here on Troy, Ohio TV, as the Trojans bring this one out. Inside the Beavercreek zone, both clubs have been looking forward to this one, and here's a big opportunity by Burris, and he is going to hold on. A backhand attempt at starting netminder Ian Champagne, but he was able to hold on to it. As we take a look at your starting netminder, Champagne gets the nod, and on the other end of the ice is Noah Carver. Play continues inside the Beavercreek zone. Outset pass. And across the line is Bush. In onside and a driving shot. Just hit off the shoulder
of Noah Carver, and out it comes, back the other way. This one is, like we mentioned, has been circled on both teams' calendars for about 3 months now. The lone trip inside Hobart Arena for the Beavers, as the Trojans control that one out behind the zone as Lehman picks it up. Outlet pass intercepted. That one knocked away at the last minute by Condi at the point, right back into the point. Lombardo battles down low as it's out of the trapezoid. Now here come the Beavers back the other way with a head of steam as push. Out to center ice, takes a stick, but gets it in onside as they'll battle it in front of the bench and finally cleared out to center as shoots. Ian Francis not the other way, had a 2-on-1 in the making, but it was not to be. And so Colin Burkhardt on the D. Bring that one right back inside the zone as both clubs will get wholesale changes. 13:34 to go here in this opening period. As it's picked back up by Smith. He'll wrap it around out of the trapezoid and up to the point. There's Condi, one-timer, back ahead for Burkhardt. He'll drop it back inside the zone. They'll wrap it up to Nashers. Outlet pass intercepted by Condi. He'll hold it in and continue to finish his check. And a great effort there by the freshman. Moves the puck out in front. But Lombardo couldn't get it in time. And now here come the Beavers back the other way as they're checked at the line and fired right back inside the zone. Out it comes. One-touch pass intercepted by Burkhardt, and the Trojans applying liberal amounts of pressure against this Beavercreek Hockey Club early and often here to start us off as play continues. Bringing it out to center ice and across the line, and a big hit there on Donahue. Knocks it back into the far point. Wrapped it around the Nashers. They'll play it down low into the corner, cycling it around. Finally up ahead at the point, but that one knocked loose at the last second. It's Huff tried a shot. Rebound! Hit off the post as the redirection out from behind the net, stopped by Carver. And the Trojans getting lucky there with a little help from the goaltender. As there's a shot right on there. Back into the near wing corner. Didn't make its intended target as they'll battle down low into the corner. Still trying to chip it free. Working it free out of the corner. Now in front of the net, locked a loose. Stop with the pad by Carver as play continues. Second shot. Save made, and he scores. Not exactly what the Trojans were hoping for after that flurry of whacks on Noah Carver. He made the initial saves. But as they say, if you give them enough chances, eventually one of those will go in. And unfortunately for the Trojans, they found out exactly what that meant.
Number 22, Joey Donahue.
Elsner gets credit for the first, and as soon as that happens, a timeout on the ice as head coach Rick Szabo has seen quite enough already. And so a quick 2-0 lead as the Beavers don't even waste any time for the score to be called. Make this a 2-0 hockey game here. We'll wait for the official word from Roger Mumpower on who exactly scored that one. And as we take a look at your keys to the game presented by Team Gear, of course, the first one we wanted to talk about was coming out firing on all cylinders, but it was just not to be. As the Trojans struggling with that third key to the game tonight. And so it will be a 2-0 hockey game early, just 11:50 to go here in this opening period. And so we'll try this again. A 2-0 early lead by the Creek. And we're back underway as the Trojans back inside the zone. Forcing it ahead, that one picked back up. Out through neutral ice, staying on side across the line. Fired off the end boards and wrapped around the Dashers. Now on the near wing side. Played out to center. They're going to go back and chase it. It's on the outlet pass through center off the Dashers and ahead now for Hansen, who couldn't get it in time. Icing's waved off as Berghardt will play it. Colin Berghardt holds onto it in the corner and wraps it around the Dashers now on the far side. Played it out to the point. Battling down low is Cooper Sexton. Could not clear the zone until the Trojans forced back inside their own left wing corner to chase. Controlling with a bad outlet pass right through the middle. Stayed onside. A shot deflected off the high glass. And a rebound again for Berghardt for the Trojans. Wraps it off the glass, and this one is going to make it 185 feet the other way. And that's good for an icing call now with 10:45 to go here in this opening period. 2-0 Beavercreek early if you're just joining us here on Troy, Ohio TV. Glad to have everybody along for the ride tonight on the official home for Trojan hockey, TroyOhio.tv, as well as at Troy Ohio TV on Facebook, Instagram, and check out our brand new YouTube channel if you get a moment today. We'll have this game and the rest of our coverage up on that this week for you to check out as play continues. Inside the Trojans' end, just inside the line, battling down low is Francis Knott, tries to control down low. A little help there from Miles Schumann as well, who plays it up against the Dashers. He'll still try to hit it off the boards, and here comes Lombardo, a 3-on-2 the other way. Lombardo a drive! And he'll hold on as Champagne had that one the whole way. Stopping the clock now with 10 minutes and 11 seconds to go. So out of the right wing corner is Lombardo, a centering feed. Tried to get that one over for Quinn Garrity, but couldn't get his lumber on it. And now here come the Beavers back the other way, too wide across the Trojans line. Dump it wide into the near wing corner as they'll dance up to the half boards and send it to the point where it's Lehman that holds it on with a low shot. Bounces off some sticks in front. Rebound back into the far corner. Scooped up by Brady Smith with a little bit of a help from the left winger for the Beavers. Lombardo. Miscommunication, finally able to force it inside the Beaver zone and finish the Trojans line change. They'll battle down low out of the trapezoid. Lost it away. Picked up by Elzer for the Beavers. Back on the left wing side before it's stripped away. Right back for Condi. A shot. Low on the ice. Loose puck. Tried to get it to Burris. Rebound back on the left wing side. Couldn't get it in time. And a good effort there by the Trojans fresh from the bench. But here come the Beavers back the other way as Elzer takes the hit in front of the Trojans bench to the ooze in section 31. They'll battle down low back into the Trojans corner on this breakout attempt out to center ice. It's Kevin Burris. Top of the circle near side. He's going to go in himself. Loose puck out in front. Shoots and scores! And a good effort there by the Trojans to cut the lead down to 1. We'll go downstairs for the official call from Roger Mumpower momentarily. Ian Francis Knott picks up the goal. And Cooper Sexton, the line mate, gets that one as well. So play continues with the Trojans cutting that Beavercreek lead down to 1 here in this first period with 8 minutes and 27 seconds counting here on a beautiful Canadian Saturday night along the Miami River banks as they'll force that one in, played down low. And Noah Carver holds on to that one. 8:16 to go, and I'll tell you, coming over the river into work this afternoon before the game, seeing the Miami River frozen solid almost makes you wonder if we could ever have a winter classic on the Great Miami. It's got to be a good 6-7 inches thick at this point. I know ton of youth hockey players have been playing in Tip City along Canal Park there, I believe it is. As play continues inside the Trojan zone. There's a shot by Sexton, loose puck bounces away. I know that's been kind of a running joke for a long time, having a winter classic in Troy. But with the winter that we've had, one can only speculate how much fun it would be, even if it was an unofficial shinny, if you found the right location for it. Although I'll tell you what, with the COVID guidelines still in place here at Hobart, maybe a little social distancing wouldn't be such a bad thing to keep everybody healthy. And so they're going to do this face-off again. As they say, it was misplayed inside the Beavercreek zone. 7 minutes and 46 seconds to go here on the clock. And it looks like Bill Peck's going to kick out Gavin Burris from the face-off to Cooper Sexton to take the face-off. They'll win it off the Dashers now on the near side. Out come the Beavers. Out to center ice is Owen Hoffman across the line. He'll drop it back now for Elsner. A drive. Loose puck on the side of the cage. Out from behind the net. Elsner picks it up but takes a big hit in the corner. And that gets the student section going as a delayed penalty coming from way behind the play. And the crowd certainly letting them know how they feel about that one. It's the referee, Eric Schreiner, with the penalty. And the faceoff's going to come back inside the zone. And maybe it will not be a penalty as the officials get together, decide no penalty is warranted. And so a little miscommunication there on our part. We apologize. So we will skate 5-on-5. The play continues back inside the Beavercreek zone, battling out from behind the net. That one hit off the side of the cage from the trapezoid as Lombardo battles it free. Pick back up on the half boards and a big hit, and there's your penalty. Well, that one's on us. They say don't jinx it, and unfortunately I think we jinxed it as a penalty is going to go against Cam Lombardo. Lombardo looks like he's going to get the gate for checking from behind. At 6:57 to go here in this first period, the Beavercreek Beavers are going to have the first power play of the game. As Lombardo's in the box, a 5-minute major for checking from behind. A little double checking there from head coach Rick Szabo. On what exactly the call is. It is a 5-minute major and a 10-minute misconduct. And so Matty Logan will come off the bench to serve the 5-minute major penalty, as Lombardo must stay in to also serve the 10-minute misconduct. We have a momentary delay on the ice as the referee Bill Peck getting some attendance from the athletic trainer Justin Firkins on the Trojans bench. And so the Beavercreek Beavers get the first power play of the night. And the face-off inside the Trojans end, controlled by the Beavers. Back to the point. There's a centering feed to Cox. One-timer shoots, scores, and that one may have been kicked in. I'm not sure if that one was kicked in, but it bounced off a skate in front. Whether it was a Trojan skate or a Beaver skate remains to be seen. We do not have replay capabilities here at the high school level for the officials to look at. And so, right off the bat here on their first power play of the night, the Beavers score the first power play goal to make this a 3-1 hockey game now with 6 minutes and 45 seconds. And because that is a major penalty to Lombardo, as the bouncing puck fielded by Champaign. The penalty remains in effect for the Trojans. We still remain short-handed, brought to you by Clopay, America's favorite garage doors. There's a chance for the Trojans. Sexton had it. Gets it back for Crawford, a shot. Knocked away at the last second by the Beavers, and now here comes Alex Elsner. Offsides is the call. Offsides against the Beavers stops the clock with 6:13 to go here in this first period. There's 4 minutes and 16 seconds remaining on that major penalty to Cam Lombardo. And the draw from center ice, controlled by Creek in front of their own bench. Hanson nearly picked off the puck by Smith. Is still working out through center ice under pressure, slowing down just on the side. Brings it back as he's off the puck ahead for Elsner. Playing it again off the wall. There's a shot from Elsner, just wide off the end boards. Rebound picked up by Smith, and he's able to ice it all the way down free of charge. 3 minutes and 45 seconds remaining on that major penalty to the Trojans for checking from behind that Cameron Lombardo is taking. As Smith battles down the ice before it's picked up by Isaac Graham for the Beavers inside the Trojans' left wing side. Troy gets a line change under pressure. They'll work it back to the point and clear on this penalty kill. Here's Cooper Sexton racing for it deep inside the Beaver zone. They'll work it out from behind the net. Little bit of an angle drill situation there as Sexton trying to kill as much of this penalty off as possible and does a great job there intercepting that outlet pass before the Beavers regroup out to center ice, and Elsner steps in onside left wing corner. He'll drive the net. Left wing picked up by the goaltender. And that one's held on by Noah Carver to stop the clock with under 5 minutes now to go here in this first period. A 3-1 hockey game if you're just joining us here on Troy, Ohio TV. Live from the historic Hobart Arena in downtown Troy, Ohio. Happy to have you join us tonight from around the world. As that one's going to be picked up by Quentin Garrity. Good effort there, putting his body in the way. As the Trojans shorthanded, able to get that one in just momentarily before it squeaks out to the Trojans line. Picked up by Gavin Burris, who battles top of the circle left wing side before he has his pocket picked by Elsner. Tries to pick the corner and does. Give credit where credit is due. A dandy of a snapshot. Pops the water bottle just past the shoulder of Noah Carver. That extends the Beavercreek lead on the power play. Their second power play goal of the night. And so as we have a delay in the action here, face-off controlled. Back inside the Beavercreek zone. And so they will give credit to Elsner for the goal. Still 2 minutes left on that penalty to Cameron Lombardo as the Beavers remain on the power play. Stepping across the Trojans line, a shot wide of Carver off the end boards, picked back up by Smith. Still playing at the point. Still trying to control it up the Dashers. Battling for it. There's a shot. Glove down. Picked back up out from behind the net. Drives him down. No call as Connie gets away with a big one there. And the Trojans are able to clear all the way down. And hit off of this one free of charge with no icing now with 3 minutes and 30 seconds to go. And they'll control with a big check against the Dashers there as Sexton knocks his man into the boards. Puck squirts back inside the Beavers' end before they make their latest charge, and a big punishing check there by Mike McGurk knocks it back into center ice. Beavers forced to chase back inside their own zone with 1 minute now to go on this power play for the Beavers. Penalty kill. 2 minutes and 56 seconds to go. And the face-off remaining inside the neutral zone off of that offsides call. 2 minutes and 54 seconds to go. And they're going to do this one again. Beavercreek was out of position on the face-off. And so Elsner gets the boot from the draw in favor for Joey Donahue will take the face-off for the Beavers, but it's won back by Troy as Berghart quick to fire it off the short glass and back deep inside the Beavers' end. Laid back by Donahue. Now for Cox around the Dashers. Now up the wing on the near side on this breakout attempt. Across the Trojans' line. Skating in is Martin. He'll force it back to Elsner at the point before he gets poked off the puck by Garrity and around the Dashers. Played by Berghart. Centering pass picked up by Garrity as play continues all the way down. A little bit of extracurriculars behind the play, but no call, no foul with 20 seconds remaining on that penalty to the Trojans. It was a long one. And the Trojans will return to full strength here in 10 seconds. Back around. Trojans just need to get it out of their own zone, but Elsner holds it in momentarily before it's picked back up by Gavin Burris. Out to center ice, and the Trojans have returned to full strength as Matty Logan out on the ice. Played it ahead as the Trojans will ice this one all the way down. And icing the call against the very tired Trojan squad. And finally against some fresh legs with 1 minute and 47 seconds to go here in this first period from the historic Hobart Arena in downtown Troy. A very nice Saturday night crowd on hand tonight to watch a rivalry that began all the way back in 1997. The very first year for the Beavercreek Beavers and second year for the Trojans. A lot of thanks goes out to the combined efforts of Rick Szabo and Eric Gartz for making that happen. And for some Beavercreek fans listening at home tonight, that name was one that probably haven't heard in a while. One that certainly none of us would be at this game without Eric and all of the youth hockey efforts he did in the mid to late 90s, making Beavercreek hockey. Of course, the McClures, Dan and Missy, also making a big impact here with Beavercreek. Play continues. A friendly but fierce rivalry on the ice and off. Extending a little further than maybe some people may realize, that connection between Beavercreek and Troy. That tongue firmly in cheek as play continues inside the Beavercreek zone. 5-1 with 1 minute to go here in this first period. Curling off was Donahue. He'll post out top of the circle, still looking for a pass. Couldn't get one. So he's forced back out to the point before he sends that one across. Reaching out for it was Martin. Now ahead, picked up by Hansen. Loose puck out in front, knocked away. Picked back up by Hansen. Trying a centering feed. 45 seconds and counting here in this opening period. As play continues again. Battling against the Dashers. Still with the puck out in front of the net. Back to the point of drive. First save made. Second save. He's going to cover it up. Still play continues on the side of the cage. And out it comes. 20 seconds to go, and the Trojans getting away with one there across the line as McGurk takes a big hit, pops his bucket. As play continues now the other way. Trojans inside the zone, under pressure, trying not to get too many men on the ice. They'll force it back inside the Beavercreek zone with 5 seconds and counting. And so that is it for the first period of action from the historic Hobart Arena here in downtown Troy, and a very, very entertaining first period of action. We will step aside when we come back. Second period action from the historic Hobart Arena. This is Troy Trojans hockey on the Trojans. welcome you back inside the historic Hobart Arena in downtown Troy, Ohio, as the second period just about ready to begin. Here inside Hobart Arena. A 5-1 hockey game through 15 minutes. Of what turned out to be a pretty exciting first period. And so as we get set to go, and we're underway here for second period action. We'll start this second period even strength after we've played most of the last half of the first period shorthanded. As a shot right on, played again, off the left wing side. Sends it wide, played again by Noah Carver as he'll wrap it around, played by Condi now. Centering pass out to the point, couldn't get it in time as Gabby Paff will get it first with a head of steam. She'll play it out to center ice inside the Beaver zone. A close call there and a good effort by the sophomore to make that play. Again from the left wing side, a shot. Carver the save, rebound, and he'll hold on. And so the face-off will remain inside the Trojans' end. Just about 40 seconds gone here in this second period. Face-off controlled again by the Trojans, but it's picked up back by the Beavers. As Elzer will play it again. Scooped up by Sexton and a long centering feed, racing out the other way as Lehman will go back to play it. Again, trying to control delayed offsides against the Trojans. They'll tag back up at the line. And out through center, picked back up by Mike McGurk. He'll dump it just inside the Beavercreek zone as the Beavers try to battle on the near side and back around to the corner. Centering feed from Smith. Couldn't get it in time as Elsner with the puck. Loses it back to Sexton as centering feed. Loose puck out through the slot. Nobody was there, but it's back to the point. As Crawford's shot blocked away, but a good effort there to keep it onside as play continues with a big hit there by Cooper Sexton into the boards. They'll battle back to the point. There's Crawford. Hands it off for Smith. He'll hold it between the circles momentarily before he gets picked off by Elsner. And now out come the Beavers across the Trojans line. Under pressure, gets hauled off the puck, no call, and that one's finally going to be stopped by the goaltender Noah Carver to stop the clock with 13 minutes even to go here in this second period from the historic Hobart Arena in downtown Troy. Glad to have everybody along for the ride on this one here on Troy, Ohio TV. I am JT Szabo as the faceoff remain inside the Trojans' end. And back out for Gabby Paff and a big hit against the half-boards. Paff is able to get it inside the zone. As out come the Beavers back the other way as Pearl. Outlet pass. That one's going to be played by Carver in front of his net, and he's going to leave it off for Bernhardt. Under a little bit of pressure, Colin Bernhardt out from the trapezoid sends it rink wide now to center ice. Intended for Quinn Garrity. Crosses the red stripe just inside and is able to clear it all the way down with no icing as it's played again by the Beavers out of their own zone on the left wing side, a centering pass. Big collision right there at the blue line, knocks it free, back to the point, but a giveaway as that one nearly intercepted. And finally, glove down. And the face-off is going to remain inside the Trojans' end. And so just like that, a little baby shark didn't help out at all. That makes this a 6-1 hockey game with 12:03 to go. Here in this second period, the sixth goal of the night. And yes, folks, they are playing Lady in Spain. Well, let's go ahead and change that again. 7-1. As the Trojans really struggling to get some offense going. They'll play it ahead in front of Carver, and he will hold on now. And the faceoff will remain inside the Trojan zone as the referee Bill Peck having a conversation there with freshman Brady Smith. Again, some discussion as Smith continues his rookie season here at the varsity level. A 7-1 hockey game. As Bush gets credit for the goal. Even strength as play continues back on the left wing side. And again, back out into the corner there. Playing it was Matty Logan trying to strip it away with Condi. Condi has it out of his own zone and now up the Dashers. As that one gloved down, they're going to say it was a hand pass. And the faceoff should come out inside the Beavercreek zone. That stopped the clock now with 11 minutes and 10 seconds to go here in this middle stanza. That'll give the Beavers a chance to get some fresh legs. And so right off the bat, Beavers are going to control this one back out to center ice. Under pressure again, top of the near wing circle. We'll send it around. And makes it all the way back inside the Beavercreek zone. And it's picked back up by Burris in a drive off the waffle board down low of Champagne. That one's going to hop out of play, but play continues. That one actually came out, hit off the bench, and came back in. And I don't think anybody saw it but us up here at press level. Interesting turn of events. Play continues. Would have been a blessing for the Trojans. As they're working out through center ice under pressure. There's Riley Hansen. He'll go with Ian Francis Knott, still trying to dangle his way through center ice, and does. There's a shot. Hansen a drive, played by Noah Carver back into the right wing corner as it's picked up again by Washburn out of the centering pass. And finally, going to hold on to stop the clock now with under 10 minutes to go here in this second period. Again, taking a look at some upcoming games for the Trojans. Only one home game remains, and that's that last one you see there. Sunday, February 6th, an early morning game, but it's also Youth Hockey Day. So what a great way to get the youth hockey players involved and to have the Trojans play a morning matinee when they're still at the rink. And so that was the idea behind that. Trojans will host the Talawanda Braves starting at 10:15 on Sunday morning. We'll have that game for you right here on Troy, Ohio TV Live if you can't join us. As play continues out from behind the Trojans' end. Now inside Beavercreek territory on this breakout attempt. Intercepted there by the Trojans as they'll battle in front of the penalty box. Still trying to clear the zone, and they finally do. Picked up by Berghart out of his own end and around. Under 9 minutes and counting here in the second period. As the Beavers, they've been on a hot streak here. They've been over 10 straight wins, and you can expect the offensive power that we've seen tonight. And that is why they are the conference leaders at this point in the season. The play continues. Down low back into the corner. We'll work it up the Dashers. Still trying to hold on to it. Puck comes clean. We'll work it back to the point. There's a shot by Berghart. He'll walk in. Second attempt. Drive. Loose puck. Finally held on. And the face-off will remain inside the Beavercreek zone. And so as play continues. That one's going to be waved off from the icing call. And back down low. Around the corner. Send it back around. We'll try to control. And again, back with a big hit there by Berghart. He'll wrap it around. This is picked up by Elsner. Out of the Trojans trapezoid. Tried to wrap around, but couldn't get much on it. And so that one will squirt free. All the way down now. A good 3-on-1 the other way for the Trojans is Burris a drive. That one's going to be held on. And a good effort there by Gavin Burris. Not to be as the Beavers into their own zone on the left wing side. Playing it ahead into the half boards. There's a shot into the paraphernalia down low. As playing it was Andrew Conti on the half boards. Coming into his own here the second half of the season, Andrew Conti's able to get his own pass and send it 100 feet the other way. Icing signaled. Icing's going to be waved off. As they'll play it around, 7 minutes and 12 seconds to go here in this second period. 7-1 Beavers in the lead. Now a 2-on-2 with the Trojans line. As Elsner forces it back into the far corner. Played by McGurk up the wing. Still on the near side as Martin's able to hold it in at the line and send it back down low into the corner. Tangled up with McGurk. Finally threw his hands up in the air trying to figure out what was going to be the standard for a call. That was not it, however. As a big open ice check on Conti. Ends that one, and he nearly touches it for too many men, but catching him on a line change. Here come the Beavers the other way. 2-on-1, all alone, and finally Cooper Sexton back checking was able to make the difference there for the Trojans, regrouping in their own zone on the half boards, and finally picked up by Gavin Burris. 2-on-1 the other way. Burris got Francis not on his wing. Spinorama tried to get something going, but Francis Knott couldn't get his stick on it. And a great effort there by those two as the Beavers 3-on-2 the other way. Quick transition. Scooped up by Ian Francis. Not in offsides. And they say it was offsides. That's good enough for me to stop the clock with 5 minutes and 59 seconds to go. A close call there for the Trojans. There's about 250 people in sections 31 and 39 right on the line wearing some black and white polos, apparently. That maybe would have made a different call, perhaps. But not to be. Out to center. Beavers over the line. They're going to dangle between the circles, and that one just wide of Carver out from the end boards. Down low and around the Dashers near side. Scooped up and held on by Lehman at the point. He'll spin around. Drops her right back down low into the corner. As it's going to be played by Graham at the line. Couldn't contain. Scooped back up by Thomas Bush. He's going to carry it in himself between the circles all alone. Trying to pick the corner again. It just went off the high glass. Rebound scooped up by Colin Berghart. And that one is going to be icing call. 5 minutes and 16 seconds to go here in the second period. And the faceoff remains inside the Trojans' end as it's picked up by Elsner into the corner for the Beavers. Poke checked away by Carver as they'll work the loose puck again on the side of the cage, again through the slot as it's picked up by Smith. He will hold on and ice this one all the way down. And so with under 5 minutes now to go here in the second period, the faceoff's going to come back inside the Trojans' end on the glove side of Noah Carver. And right off the draw, there's a shot. That one got through Carver, but not enough as it squirts back into the corner now up the half board. They'll battle for it at the point. Can't clear. That clearing shot off the high glass. Out top of the circle. Intercepted by Elsner. He'll stand on it once and gets his pocket picked by Gabby Paff. She'll post it up on the half boards, right wing side. Still trying to control the puck. And around the Dashers. 4 minutes and 28 seconds to go here in this second period. And they'll work it up the wing on the centering feed. Again, loose puck turned over. Beavers with a shot as Huff sent that one back into the corner, and Elsner swoops in to help out before he's picked off by Quinn Garrity, and out come the Trojans across the line with a head of steam. Posting up top of the circle. They'll send it back down low into the corner. Still with a loose puck again before it's knocked away. And out come the Beavers to center ice with 3 minutes and 57 seconds and counting. Here in this middle period from the historic Hobart Arena in downtown Troy. Laid around the Dashers, Elsner picks up the loose puck, tries to stuff it off the post, and you heard the ping from here. As play continues again, Carson Cox from the point, a big blast. Knocked away at the last second, but he'll hold it in at the line for the Beavers. As they continue pressuring, try to wrap around attempt as Bergart knocks it away. Picked back up by Cox at the line. Fired it right back inside the Trojans' end. Intercepted, this time by Andrew Condi out from the trapezoid. Behind the net, and a little help there from Gabby Paff. Wraps it around, but lost by Cox a drive. Loose puck pinball back into the near wing corner. As Elsner hit off the puck. Again by the Trojans is Paff and Garrity battling for it on the half board's right wing side. Still with the puck is Berghardt. Knocked Elsner into the glass as they battle for that loose puck. A lot of hand and shoulder strength being displayed here by both clubs before it's scooped up by Owen Huff in a drive. Loose puck knocked away. Second attempt, shot, saved by Carver. And the Trojans desperately fire that one 180 feet the other way. And a good effort there. The Trojans and the Beavers are going to get much needed wholesale changes after that one. There's the outlet pass coming out ahead to Hansen and over the line and onside. Here's Hansen. Steps it ahead, knocked it away by Carver. Dropped it ahead as it's picked up by Sexton for the Trojans on the near wing. Looking for that centering pass now for Lombardo across the line. Left wing circle a drive off the end boards. Picked back up by Sexton and now to the point. There's a cannonading blast off the high glass left wing side. Picked back up by Riley Hansen, and he'll post up out behind his own net before it's taken by Smith in a drive. Loose puck bouncing off the glass. Rebound to the left wing side. Again for Ian Francis Knott. Low cycle now for Sexton. Takes the hit with the steam, but he has his pocket picked by the Beavers, and this time out comes Constantinides. Big hit against the Dashers as they'll work it out to center. Scooped up by Crawford. He'll wrap it around before it's picked again by Hansen. Hurls off with a bevy of activity in front of the net. That one will make it all the way down with just under 90 seconds to go here in this second period. Trojans still facing that 6-goal deficit as play continues back to the Beavers line. Playing catch in the neutral zone, finally picked up by Berghardt. Nobody on his wing, and so he'll just chip it off a backhander before Smith goes back to play it into the left wing corner. Not a lot of help there behind the net, and so it's picked up again by the Beavers. Outlet pass, picked up with under a minute now to go across the Trojans line. Thomas Bush all alone, fanned on the shot. And that one was not to be. And so that'll stop the clock with 49.1 seconds to go. And the faceoff will remain inside the Trojan zone. Right off that drop, controlled by Gary. Out to center ice. 44 seconds and counting. As Burris, backhand, forehand, couldn't get the shot off. He'll curl back to the corner. Out at the point. There's a shot, loose puck out in front. Shoot, scores! And just like that, the deficit is cut as the Trojans pick up their second goal of the night. Just 20 seconds to go. Gavin Burris announced as the goal scorer for the Trojans' second goal. As the Beavers pick up their eighth. Go down and score immediately. Deficit remains the same. An 8-2 hockey game as Miles Schumann picks up the helper on Gavin Burris' goal. And so just like that, the faceoff at center ice takes us back into action as Elsner picks it up again. All alone and a big paddle away by Carver. Now here come the Trojans with just 10 seconds to go. A blast. That one is going to keep the faceoff inside the Beavercreek zone with just 6.7 seconds on the board. And the draw. One back and across, but it's not going to be enough. They're going to wave it off. The shot was in. They are going to say no goal. At the horn, the Trojans would have had their third goal waved off by the referee, Eric Schreiner. And from this angle, that was the right call. The time had expired just before that puck went in. And so a tough way to end the second period as the Trojans' third goal waved off. And the officials will step off the ice. And so 2 periods in the books. The Trojans will skate an 8-2 deficit into the dressing room after 2 periods. Here inside the historic Hobart Arena, and I'm sure they're about to get quite the pep talk from head coach Rick Szabo. As the gum chewing has intensified here throughout the second period. So at that mark, we will step aside. Second period action of the books. 8-2 after 2 periods. We still have 1 period left. And we will have that for you here shortly. This is Troy Trojans varsity hockey right here on Troy, Ohio TV.
22, 22, 193, 242. Okay, now next one out. Let's pick up the bus. Thank you so much. Okay, we got a 50-50 drawing. Hey, wait a minute. Hey, hand that little guy over there. Repeat that. I want you to come here. We're going to have you do a special thing. Guy, you, get up in here, hold up, clear. You're a team. Well, now, your purpose, first one over is a surprise for you. Thank you. Now, here's the winning number. How much you give away? Anybody know? Anybody know how much money we give away? Oh, anyway, you can pick up section 21. You have to stick it on. 8, 0, 8, 0, 0, 1, 5. 8, 0, 8, 0, 0, 1, 5. You got that particular number. You want to have money there. You don't have it.
Back inside the historic Hobart Arena in downtown Troy, JT Szabo rejoining you as we welcome the teams back onto the ice surface. 2 periods of hockey are in the books. And 8-2. And of course, we welcome you here along the banks of the Great Miami River in downtown Troy. I'm JT Szabo, glad to have you along for the ride here on Troy, Ohio TV, the official home of Troy Trojans hockey, all season long here on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and of course on TroyOhio.tv. As the Trojans try to come back from this early deficit.
Upper Valley Medical Center reported from your guys' job and official healthcare worker.
And so as the players get ready to go, a couple of announcements there by public address announcer Roger Mumhauer.
Our care is here. You can watch tonight's game live, replay, and on demand all season.
And so it will be the Trojans in their home white uniforms with the scarlet and gray piping thanks to rival hockey. Once again, skating from right to left on your screen.
Let's try to get a really good turnout next week. Sunday, February 6th. Thank you.
All right, as the official skates to center ice. We are underway here for period number 3. As the Beavers try to hold on to that early and often lead back inside the Trojans' end. Here's a shot wide of the net. That one right back up against the Dashers as McGurk is able to hold on to it momentarily before he throws it back inside the neutral zone, scooped ahead by the Beavers. They'll regroup inside their own zone on this fresh ice. I'd like to thank the arena crew for all their help setting all of this up tonight and every night as part of Trojan hockey here on Troy, Ohio TV. And here come the Trojans back the other way, and a big blast there by Berghardt, glove down. Champagne made the play, but lobbed it back into the far corner. Played around the Dashers, and that's scooped up by Washburn. He'll work it up the boards and held in by Condi, and a good effort there, but finally picked up the big hit there, picked up by Riley Hansen before it's stripped away by the other number 9, Gavin Burris, and a foot race ensues across the line as Burris holds onto it. Under pressure, when held up by Condi, and he's able to fire it just inside the zone. That'll give the Beavers a chance to get changed. And now here's Francis, not a backhand attempt, couldn't get much on it though, as it caught everybody off guard. Played around the Dashers, 13:26 to go here in regulation. As Smith, back from the corner, tried a centering feed. Nobody was there, but Sexton is able to make the hit, and the bouncing puck is going to be gloved down. And the faceoff is going to stay inside the Beaver zone. 13:14 to go here in regulation. And so that played on from behind the trapezoid as Smith has his head up looking for a pass, but nobody was able to connect. A little help from Francis Knott. He keeps it in. Sends Sends it right back out from behind the net and around the Dashers on the right wing side. He'll work it out to center as icing signaled. And icing is the call. That'll bring the faceoff all the way back inside the Beavercreek zone with 12:50 to go here in the third period. And it'll be Gavin Burris to skate in to take the faceoff. Indeed. On back to the point. There's a big blast by McGurk, but just high off the high glass. And the Creek Beavers able to get that one back out to center ice. Picked up this time by Elsner, and a drive off the post. I'm not sure if Carver even saw where it landed, but the referee did, and after that tough waved off goal to end the second period, a little bit of retribution there as well from the hockey gods looking on above. Lombardo across the line, that's going to be offsides. So they're going to say that one was offsides. Just like that, play off the corner in the near side. A big check by Sexton into the boards behind the official. Knocked that puck off. Went back out from behind the net as he blows the tire. 11:55 to go in regulation in this 8-2 hockey game. As Smith out of his own zone, getting ahead of steam with crossovers and across the line. Throws it back to Matty Logan at the point if it's knocked off the puck. And here come the Beavers back the other way, 2-on-2 across the Trojans line on the near side. Drops it back for Bush off the side of the cage, and they'll score. And so despite some extracurriculars after the goal on that one, it will still stand. So a 9-2 lead for the Beavers. We'll go downstairs to the official call. From Roger Mumpower is Gavin Burris with the puck. Austin Drawn getting credit for the goal. Beavers back the other way, fanning on it. 11:13 to go. Bush gets back for the assist. That's just Donahue on Drawn's goal. So no icing will be called on this one as it's waved all the way down. Played again by the Beavers, and out they come. New center ice. Bounced like a pinball as Lombardo is able to get it in front of the Beavers bench and just chip it inside of the Beavercreek end. A little help from Burris, but it wasn't enough across the line. Scooped back up by the Beavers on the near side. Picked up by Washburn. He'll get his pocket picked out from behind the net, and now here comes Bernhardt out through traffic. Playing again this time. Carver will hold it off for Crawford under pressure. Sends it ahead rink wide now for Lombardo, but he couldn't control the puck. Now here come the Beavers the other way as Hansen across the line in a drive. And that one's going to be stopped and held on by Carver as play continues. Down low, that was Granblue attire. Now here's Lombardo. Shot. Loose puck on the side of the cage, but Sexton wasn't there in time. As play continues on the half boards on the near side. Bouncing puck and a big open ice check there by Gavin Burris. Knocks it away momentarily before Cox steps across the line and fires that one in. Played again by the Beavers. Wrapped it around into the corner. As that one's played down low. Still into the corner, now up to the point as the Trojans continue pressuring. Out to neutral ice with a little help from McGurk. He'll fire it all the way down, and icing is the call. And that will bring the face-off all the way back inside the Trojans end now with 9 minutes and 32 seconds. Here in regulation. This will be on the glove side of the goaltender Noah Carver. And it's won back by the Beavers, but picked up by Crawford. They'll send it around on this low cycle, but can't control the puck. Little help from Francis Knott, still against the half boards. As McGurk will go back from behind the net and wrap it around to Sexton, who traps it on the half boards, sends on this outlet pass. Miscommunication, but Francis Knott's able to get it ahead for Smith. Under pressure, here's Brady Smith. Throws a tire into the far corner. That one wrapped back around. The Trojans force this one all the way down. Now for Mike McGurk, playing it before he loses his edge. And a Trojan sandwich back into the corner, but no call as play continues with McGurk picking up the puck with under 9 minutes to go here in regulation. Loose puck on the side of the cage. Finally, hold on. By Noah Carver. As he struggles picking up some of his paraphernalia. And he's going to head to bench to get some equipment work. As it looks like he's got a pad lace that has come free. And so as we continue this delay, don't forget you can check us out on Troy, Ohio TV for replays and other community events at Troy, Ohio TV on Facebook and Instagram, as well as online at Troy, Ohio TV. It looks like Noah Carver is back. And the Trojans will win the draw. 8 minutes and 38 seconds in counting here in regulation. As they'll play it out from behind their own net. Here's Colin Burkhart. Sends it around on the near side for Lombardo. He'll feed Gavin Burris, and now here's a cherry pick the other way for Tim Carey against the half boards. Carey couldn't get much on it, though, as he got hit off the half boards, and now here come the Beavers the other way as Bush steps across the line on the left wing side with the puck, tries to pick the corner again. He's now 1 for 3 on those attempts tonight. Picked up that one goal earlier on in the first period and hasn't had much luck since as the rebound turned around, fired off the end boards. Lombardo slaps it around, and that one makes it all the way down for Gavin Burris with a foot race ensues. As delayed penalty coming. As the Beavers are going to touch it up, and we've got an interference penalty coming with 7 minutes and 42 seconds to go here in the third. And it is going to go against the Beavercreek Beavers. A little bit of protest there as Lehman is headed to the box. Interference is the call as he gets the explanation from the referee, Eric Schreiner. And so the faceoff will come inside the Beavercreek zone as the Trojans will have their first power play of the night. Brought to you by AccuTool, the official power play sponsor of Troy Trojans hockey. The AccuTool power play now in effect for the Trojans as they'll work it out to center. And that's going to be an offsides call.
Interference, minor penalty, 2 minutes. Interference, Lehman, Beavercreek Beavers, 7-18.
And so as play continues back out on the power play, the Trojans Their first man advantage of the night, working out through center ice. And again, in front of the bench, is still trying to battle with Gabby Paff. And she gets a little help from Mike McGurk and a big blast that hit off a skate in front. Picked up by Francis Knott. Here's the centering pass. Past the shot! And just a pad save made. Gabby had a great opportunity there. It was just not to be. The Trojans getting a good opportunity, but it was the pad of Ian Champagne that made the difference there. And here comes Brady Smith the other way. Got Francis Knott on his wing. He's going to carry it in front. Champagne makes the initial save. Rebound back into the far corner. As a long centering pass is touched up by Colin Berghardt inside his own zone, so no icing will be called. 28 seconds and counting on the Trojans' power play. 6:08 remaining in regulation with a head of steam now is Gavin Burris. Burris across the line, near side, posts up top of the circle, sends it rink wide. As that will make its way to the stick down low of Owen Huff for the Beavers, and shorthanded, he puts that one into the mitt of Noah Carver, and the Trojans regrouping at the tail end of their power play. Slightly more lackluster than they had anticipated as we return to full strength. They get away with one there. Intercepted by Schumann. He puts a stick on him. Now trying to hold on to that loose puck, and finally cleared out in front. So some chirping back and forth after the whistle on that one. Stopping the clock with 5 minutes and 26 seconds here in regulation. And the faceoff remains inside the Troy zone. They'll play it back again. Now for McGurk. Up the wall. Couldn't control it. Carson Cox keeps it in momentarily before a cherry-picking Gavin Burris picks it up on the far corner. Centering feed. Lombardo shoots! In through the pads! And that was just not to be. And a good opportunity right there to see the ice and see Lombardo was streaking down the wing. And it was Champagne that closed up shop early. And we remain a 9-2 hockey game as the Beavers the other way. Loose puck picked up by Lombardo out through the slot. Finally knocked back into the near wing corner. Crawford can't clear. Sends it right back into the corner out in front of the net. Delected. Pad save. Loose puck. I don't know about that one. I think they might have a legitimate claim for a crease violation for that one. He was camped out in that blue paint for quite some time, just waiting for it. And an unfortunate way to suffer your 10th goal. Nonetheless, that goal will stand. And so that's a tough one right there as you see Eric Schreiner having a chat with Rick Szabo. I think he kind of saw the same thing we did up here. That was camped out in the crease for too long, and with that scurry, there's only so much the goaltender can do, especially when he made the initial saves. And so what could have been... And so Drawn's going to get credit for the goal, his second of the night. Back up by Smith, trying to pick the corner there. Just wide off the high glass. 4 minutes and 20 seconds to go here in the third period. As Maddie Logan doing a great job on the half-board's left wing side. The senior battling for the puck along the Dashers. Showing off some of those championship figure skating skills there with the skating. As that one picked back up by the Beavers. Big head of steam the other way. Wait again. Open ice check knocked away as Connie plays it out. Now to neutral ice. Battling across the board. Sexton lost his stick as offsides is the call. And that'll force the Trojans to send that one all the way down. And icing is the call. And the faceoff is going to come back inside the Trojans' end. And right off the draw, picked up by the Beavers. Delayed penalty coming. Or was it? I'm not sure if that was a penalty or indeed it was. It's going to go against Beavercreek as it looks like it's Owen Huff headed to the box. And the Trojans back on the AccuTool and die power play for the second time tonight. Off that shot, we'll put it back in. We'll do it again in the same location. 3 minutes and 26 seconds to go here in the third. And so the Trojans back on the power play. Worked it back out from behind the net. Here's Burris' shot, loose puck. As that one bounced ahead. Couldn't get much on it. All the way back inside the Trojans' end now. On this outlet pass. 3 minutes and counting here in the third period. Trojans facing that 10-2 deficit. Out from behind. Wait again. Back for McGurk. Hold on to it. That's picked back up. Now for Gavin Burris. Holds on. Top of the circle. Now back to the point. There's a shot right on, and he will hold on. So with 1:01 to go. Faceoff will remain inside the Beavercreek zone. High shot just wide. Rebound on the near point. Picked up by the Beavers. Out they come. 2-on-2 back for Crawford. Dropped it back for Smith, but nobody was home. And this one's going to be picked up by Thomas Bush. Now the other way, 2-on-2 for the Beavers. Intercepted. And that's going to be an offsides call. And the offsides call. Going to keep the face-off in the neutral zone. Now with 2:02 to go here in the third period. 32 seconds remaining on the man advantage for the Trojans. They'll play it in front of the box before they fire it all the way down. Back inside Trojan territory. Smith out of the trapezoid. He'll send it back to the point on the far side for Crawford. One-time shot, loose puck out in front. As Francis not had the right idea, but Champaign closed it up. And now here come the Creek Beavers back to full strength. They'll work it back on the side of Champaign. Loose puck knocked away at the last second with 1:19 and counting here. That one's going to go down. And the face-off off of that icing call, stopping the clock with 1:15 to go in regulation. Back inside the zone. Don't forget the Trojans back at home for their final home game on Sunday, February 6th. That is a special 10-15 game for the youth hockey kids here as part of Youth Hockey Day at Hobart Arena with the Troy Trojans. We'll enjoy seeing all of the Troy Bruins youth hockey players in their jerseys that morning, and we'll have that game for you right here live on Troy, Ohio TV. Back inside the Trojans end, they'll work it around. And then this one picked back up. Short-handed momentarily. Now he's got Lombardo on his wing for a 2-on-1. The Beavers are able to clear this one back out to center ice. And inside the Trojans territory, 37 seconds to go. And counting here in regulation. And this one as it's picked up by Austin Drawn. Sends it all the way down and icing. Bring the face-off back inside the Creek zone. .7 seconds to go here in regulation. As it's won back by Troy with Sexton and a big hit against the Dashers. Tries to throw it ahead. Here's Andrew Conti, top of the circle. Throws it back into the corner. Conti works it up the wing. Can't hold on. A little help from McGurk with 13 seconds to go. As he collides into the Dashers. Extracurriculars going on behind the net as well there. We're working ahead, and that is it. And 3 solid periods of hockey leave the Beavercreek Beavers remain undefeated in the last 13 games. And they remain first place in the Southwest Ohio High School Hockey League. And so, as the teams abide by the time-honored hockey tradition of the post-game handshake, it is a 10-2 final score here from inside the historic Hobart Arena along the frozen banks of the Great Miami River in downtown Troy, Ohio. Again, the Trojans back in action for their final home game on Sunday morning, February 6th, a 10:15 start as part of Youth Hockey Day here at Hobart Arena. Well, for our entire crew here at Hobart Arena and Troy, Ohio TV, for our wonderful photographer, Katie Sexton, as well as our in-arena crew, Lily Grace, Rhino, John Wyatt, and of course, O'Reilly, our technical producer, as part of Troy, Ohio TV. And a special thanks to Mindy Paff for her help this evening as part of Troy Trojans hockey right here on the Troy, Ohio TV. For one final time, a 10-2 final score for the Beavercreek Beavers. I am JT Szabo signing off. Have a great night, and thank you for tuning in to Troy Trojans hockey on Troy, Ohio TV.